Hello, guys. Welcome back. Somebody asked me a really good question, and as I always say, this is just my opinion. It's not something you have to apply to your own life. But they asked if I believe that the divinities can come down in human form, not through possession or channeling, but could say Loki meet you on the street. They can, but I think it's for very rare exceptions. If we look at all the stories we have from the various spaces around the world, a deity could be born into the world as a demigod. Think of Dionysus, think of Jesus, think of, all the demigods that you can think of, that they had a divine parent and they had a mortal mother usually. And they would be born and they would walk and they would have a sort of ministry for a time and then they would ascend to the heavens. And we certainly have countless stories of certain deities founding dynasties and that. Like, think of all the people who believe that they are related to, especially royalty, like they're related to Egyptian gods or they're related to Nordic gods or, something along those lines. And we have plenty of stories in every faith around the world about either gods, like, say, Zeus, especially like to come in human form and test people and see if they were good people. And then if you were a good person, you would be given a blessing. It's why we have the pagan saying about, being nice to people because you may have entertained a god and not known it. And obviously, you have to take that one with a grain of salt because if somebody sketchy is knocking at your door at 2 a.m., take it with a grain of salt. Don't just be naive. But the gods know that. And, the Christians have the same thing, though they usually believe it's an angel or a saint. And usually they can tell only after the encounter. An angel or a saint is not going to tell you, nor is a deity, oh, I'm so and so, or I'm such and such. They're usually going to show up at a period in your life when you need help. They're going to perform a miracle of some sort. And then they're going to be gone, and you're not going to be able to track them down. So it won't just be a person, even though they look like everyone else, who showed up, did a random act of kindness, and then disappeared. In those cases, we can find the person that did it, and then we call them earth angels, which is why we have that term. Like, somebody will do a kind deed for someone, and someone will say, well, it's a miracle, and they'll track them down, and they'll say, it's no less of a miracle, but it's more like they were an earth angel. But do I believe that the gods can come down? Certainly, because we have countless stories of angels and saints doing it, of deities all around the world coming down in human form for a while, either to, have a love affair or found a dynasty or sire a child because this was going to be a special child, or they just were commonly accepted to live among the people, and the people were like, at one time it just doesn't seem like it was that big a deal to our ancestors. And to our ancestors, a lot of them, they would have taken it as matter of course, you know. I wouldn't say take the Viking series as gospel, but, for Viking era people, to encounter one of the gods wouldn't have been unusual. You wouldn't have known who it was, but, to encounter one of the gods in the flesh wouldn't have been unusual. So, maybe Thor would stop by your home to test your kindness. Maybe Odin would stop by to challenge you. Maybe Loki would stop by and help you. Yeah, help. That's the word he wants to use. Help. But, I think they still do. I just don't think that it's something that happens as regularly as some people would have you believe. I do think it happens. I think some encounters are genuine. But if someone starts writing a blog about, oh, I met Zeus at the post office today, and as I was going out the door, I ran into Jehovah, and as I was getting coffee, Loki was the barista. That's a bit much. But if somebody has a life-changing encounter, and then they get the sense that it was, say, an angel, or they get a sense it was a god or something, especially if they tell you who they are and they disappear in light, and you cannot find them, and you're not hallucinating, then yeah, I'd say you had a genuine encounter. I know that's kind of rambly, but I think it's like down to faith. And it was kind of timely the person asked, because it's like, I've settled on I believe in the divinity of Christ. It just doesn't mean I have to worship him. You don't have to worship every god as a pagan. You don't have to exhaust yourself trying to worship thousands, if not millions, of deities and assorted spirits and the like. Just work with whomever you're drawn to. And provided your resident deities are happy about it, sometimes you get a little squabbly. But it's you can believe what feels right to you. Some people seem to be threatened by the idea of having faith or believing that the gods could come down or believing in miracles. I'm kind of noticing it's kind of sad. I'm kind of noticing an uptick in skepticism and atheism. And while we shouldn't believe everything we're told, you should still have room for faith in your life too. And who am I to judge? So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye bye.